Ready?
Yep.
All right.
Ready.
So, welcome to the Weidenburner Nature Reserve. We're gathered in a very special location. This little clearing is where Chester and Emily Weidenburner and their children, Bruce and Jan, camped in tents almost 70 years ago. And it is in this small clearing that we have cut the stone that marks the dedication of this nature reserve and honors the Weidenburner family. The largest tree in this clearing is a towering tulip tree, which is right there. All right.
And by the way, it was hit by lightning. If you look around, you'll see a scar going all the way up to the top. Top of the tree is gone.
And I didn't notice till today, John. Tulip tree leaf has long been a symbol of Fairview Lake and is part of our foundation logo. Didn't know that. Thank you. And also is described on the dedication stone. This tulip tree witnessed the first time the Weidenburner family came here in 1952. Tulip tree also witnesses our gathering here today. So, we now proceed.
Good.
All right.
Today we mark the 30th anniversary of the Fairview Lake and Watershed Conservation Foundation and the 20th anniversary of the Weidenburner Nature Reserve. Long before our foundation was organized, long before there was an Environmental Protection Agency, and long before the first Earth Day, people enjoyed and loved special places in nature's realm and wanted to protect them.
This led to the formation of the Sierra Club, Audubon societies, and other conservation organizations. National, state, and local parks were created. Wilderness areas were set aside. Laws were passed to protect endangered wildlife, protect environmental and human health. Our foundation is a means by which people can work together to protect and preserve Fairview Lake. The formation of this foundation and of this nature reserve are so closely connected that today's double anniversary observances will be presented together.
Joan?
In 1988, rumors were rife about the lake that Weidenburner property on the east shore was up for sale. The tract contained more than 660 foot of natural lake shore. The property was heavily forested with no buildings. The former president of the Fairview Lake Community Club had an idea. He spoke at the community club's annual meeting that summer, proposing the merits of forming a tax-exempt, non-profit foundation capable of saving the Weidenburner property from development, accepting tax-deductible contributions, applying for grants, and recruiting volunteer members and leaders. That same person contacted Emily Weidenburner and her son Bruce and told them of this plan. In the very first phone conversation in 1988, both Emily and Bruce said they would love to give their family land to us if it could be permanently protected from any development.
Wait.
Lynn?
That same person recruited a representative organizing committee to do the necessary work to get an organization started. The committee had many challenges. They discussed many topics in depth, decided on the name of the organization, wrote the Constitution, approved a logo, got feedback from others, and applied to the state of New Jersey for a certificate of incorporation. That incorporation was approved in April of 1990, but we mark our date founding to our first annual meeting on Saturday, June 9th, 1990 at the YMCA camp. All of our new members approved the Constitution and elected our first officers and trustees.
David Moore, the executive director of the New Jersey Conservation Foundation, was our first guest speaker. David had provided valuable guidance to the organizing committee, and we awarded him with a tulip tree seedling representing the birth of a brand new organization. Michelle Byers, who was David's assistant at the time, became executive director when David retired. It was especially fitting that Michelle was our guest speaker at our 25th anniversary annual meeting in 2015.
Judy?
From its beginning, our foundation had a dream. On our 10th anniversary,
That dream came true when this land was given to us by Bruce Weidenburner, one of our charter members, to be permanently protected as a forever wild nature reserve. We know from old survey maps that the Weidenburn property had once been subdivided into 14 building lots. Thankfully, those were not developed then, and now the land is forever protected from any development. With Bruce's wonderful gift to our foundation, the land was reborn as a Weidenburner Nature Reserve to ensure it will always remain as it has been in nature's realm.
Since it began in 1990, our foundation has been faithful in its mission to protect and preserve Fairview Lake and its watershed. We are inspired by nature and guided by science. Our foundation works with willing organizations like the Fairview Lake Community Club and the Fairview Lake YMCA Camp, the Kittatinny Club, Stillwater Township Environmental Commission, and the Nature Conservancy, and individuals as partners at the lake within the watershed and beyond.
After earning tax-exempt status, we have applied and received small grants from the New Jersey DEP Division of Watersheds, New Jersey City University, and private foundations. We have offered guest speakers on a variety of environmental subjects. We offer opportunities for a range of volunteer service. We currently have 3 ongoing volunteer projects: American chestnut restoration, lake biomass, and nutrient reduction. Japanese barberry and other invasive species are all described in today's printed programs. Judy, next.
Judy.
Judy Rich.
It would not be possible to describe today all of our activities and accomplishments over the last 30 years, but there is one defining battle that must be told today. It was our very first issue, known as the zoning battle, and it could have broken our fledgling foundation and even destroyed Fairview Lake as we know it. It was in 1991 that the Stillwater Township Economic Development Commission released proposals that, among other things, would have changed the zoning at Fairview Lake from conservation recreation to commercial recreation. Jennifer?
If approved, this change in zoning at Fairview Lake could have paved the way for a possible public beach and boating concession at the former Camp Tawadena waterfront, a commercial paintball center, summer carnivals, and other concessions, or however private interests could generate tax revenues. In response, our foundation issued a well-researched position paper that documented the true economic, cultural, and environmental costs of the zoning proposal. We identified, informed, and campaigned with key full-time township resident allies. We fought hard. A year later, the proposed changes to Fairview Lake area zoning were withdrawn by the township.